So I decided to break this all the way down for you guys before I get ready for the day. If you have set apple, and then set apple is all the way up high in a tree, and someone decides to go pick set apple, or set apple falls from the tree. Set apple is baked into an apple pie. Set apple does not become butter, or does it become cinnamon. It's still set apple. If set apple seeds are planted, it is still set apple. So if you have an African who is taken from Africa, has children that are still of African descent, their children are still of African descent, and 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 to be called black is a color, so I might as well just call you colored, my fellow colored Americans. All right, guys, let me go take my shower.
Shut your mouth.
So I'm gonna say this. There's this narrative, especially down south in Miami, that black Americans used to beat up Haitians. And we used to have this stigma on Haitian. There used to be a Haitian day. We used to whoop their ass. But my only problem with this accusation is, how do you know it was black Americans? So despite having Kodak Black down in South Florida, and despite what Florida Promo might say, or Florida 954 Fast Pitch Music might say, there's a lot of different groups down here in Florida. You have a lot of black Americans. You have a lot of Dominicans. You have a lot of Jamaicans. So who's to say it wasn't these other groups of people besides black Americans? And why do black Americans take the whole cake for bullying Haitians? Why us? Why not these other groups of people? I don't know if y'all know this about particularly Jamaicans, but Jamaicans are the only Caribbeans who are able to completely turn off their accent and act like a whole different group. They could talk white, they could talk black very good. You would never know. Patois is damn near English. So how you know it wasn't a Jamaican cross-playing as being black American or Dominican? These other groups that are from the islands, they have personal reasons to not like you. Black Americans, especially since you got here, there is no personal reason not to like you. So I'm not saying we wasn't there or wasn't involved, but I'm just asking the question. Why do we take the cake for beating up Haitians and nobody else? And then y'all use it as a way to disrespect us now. See what I'm saying? Like y'all say little slick shit now, and then you come back and say, well, you used to say this to us, you used to do this. Well, how you know? And if we was bullying y'all, what was the gang called? What was the black American group called? Was it called BA? And who led it? Who's the orchestrator of it? Because y'all created Zopound, and that could be traced back to a leader in an organization. You can name people who was a part of it. What black American gang we had that targeted Haitians? And how do we know it was fully black Americans? See what I'm saying? And why are we the ones who led it?
African Americans built this nation. We built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that.
Breaking news to African Americans: you cannot stand alone as a nation. Okay? That nation is taken. It's called Africa. The Essence Festival exposed a lot within the black community for me personally, because while I was making a video about the cancel culture of black people, there was a silent war going on within the black community, and it's between the African Americans and the Africans.
Essence Fest isn't about all of the black people in the diaspora. It's about black Americans, all right?
Who are you? You are African before you are Americans. The Americans don't want you. They don't care about your history, because when black people are in a room, any non-black person cannot tell who's African or who's African American just by looking at us. Look at the population of the entire continent of Africa. You decide to remove yourself from the continent and stand alone. You know, I remind you that when it comes to global platforms, Africans are actually winning. Like, I'm sure you know how to use Google. Africans are knocking it out. Like, you are literally fighting the winning team. When you look like the winning team, wouldn't it make sense for you to just join the winning team? And are you standing against Africans when you're supposed to be standing against your oppressors? Like, you say, I'm African American. Yeah, but the Americans don't want you. So you might as well just join the wagon that Africa is on as a nation. The narrative that's been painted like, oh, Africans act like they're better. We are not better. We are just more cultured. We have strict rules. The guardrails that we have been raised with is not soft. The freedom you have as African Americans, Africans don't have it. We still answer to our elders. African children are raised deeply into culture. Culture comes with respect, standard, morals, and a lot of things. African Americans, on the other hand, are very free people. You have the most freedom I've seen on the planet, apart from Caucasian, right? So it's not like Africans are acting like they're better than you. Africans are just more cautious than you because we can't afford to mess up. Because we are being cautious, you think we are being arrogant. Our parents are still paying for our tuition. We are never too grown for our African parents. It's not anything to do with you. It's just the upbringing that we have. Africans in diaspora have spent so much money to live abroad. They cannot disappoint the elders. They cannot disappoint the family. They are working really hard to let their family members know we have made you proud, okay? The competition is within us. It doesn't have anything to do with any other person. The only cancellation we are afraid of is the one from our family. Do you understand? So when I see a lot of people say, oh, Africans act this way, Africans are proud, it's not intentional. It has nothing to do with you.
Why is there a Jollof versus Jambalaya competition at Essence Fest? That's not needed.
The way we fight over nonsense as black people just pisses me off. Why are we fighting over jambalaya and jollof at Essence Festival? It's a black nation festival. Regardless of where the nation is located. As long as black people are there, we are the nation. Why are we trying so hard to cause a division within the black race? There's just one black race. There goes the Africans again. Let me tell you something. You cannot wash off the color of your skin. Even if you are bright skin, your hair is still thick. Your body physique is different, okay? Your DNA shows that you're pretty much African. Stop trying so hard to disconnect yourself from Africa as a continent. Be a part of the winning team. Continue to build and fight with the winning team. Trying to stand alone makes no sense. You are not going to win. You're going to be loud, make a lot of noise. But when it comes to top position globally, you always find black people there. And they're mostly Africans. If there's one continent that every other person is worried about, it's the African continent. Whether they like it or not, they have to make room for leadership. And Africa will be on it. So you might as well just stop fighting.
Americans away from things that are for black Americans. What happened to for us, by us?
What has the title African American, what has it ever done for you? Because the Caucasian look at you and be like, you're black. Once they see black, they see monkey. Once they see kinky hair, they see monkey. Once they see big lips, they see monkey. Once they see big nose, they see monkey. You can be like, oh, no, I'm not African, I'm African American. They're like, what's the difference? Exactly. What's the difference? My video is for intelligent people. If you misunderstand me, I already know where you stand.
I smell a little crack in you.
Let me just say this, and I'm just going to be focused on the woman in the front. As soon as I saw the flag wrapped in her hair, I already knew what it was. I already knew it was going to be some type of form of clownery and trying to direct and tell black people, oh, this is you. Like, so it's not enough that we have the Africans out here trying to depict and specifically tell black people, oh, we know who it is that you are this, you are part of us, you know, we are family, you need to come back home, this, that, and the third, all this other type of stuff, right? Cool, whatever. Even though y'all wasn't trying to get us for 400 years, but now in 2025, magically something is up, the jig is up, and people are like, we gotta get you guys back. Huh? Don't y'all got like 1 billion people there? You mean to tell us that the little amount of black Americans that are here, that's enough to jumpstart everything over there? No. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Like I said, I got a video that's going to come up a little bit later, probably during the day, about the time this goes out. And there's going to be an African guy, and he has some type of points there. But he starts to kill every single one of his points by stating a lot of nonsensical things when it deals with black Americans, and again trying to specifically tell black Americans what is what and what is not. This is where a lot of these individuals go wrong. Y'all keep trying to tell us who it is that we are. We're telling you. Like, this is the craziest part, right? Again, as I've stated before, the moment of time that black Americans have told people like, yo, we're African American, like, yo, Africa is the motherland, like, you know, that is a part of us. It's like a one giant tree with many branches and leaves and all this other type of stuff. This is where our roots are, ancestry, right? And we embraced that for a long time. We loved that for a long time. Right, we showed and tried to give as much validation and exposure. We try to support and speak out for a lot of things that were going on over there in Africa. And you know, we try to bring awareness because this is what it is that we do. And again, over time, we started to notice that people who are quote unquote African, who will come directly over here, would start to act, and they would treat us a certain type of way. And especially, thank you for 2025. Thank you for the social media day and age that we currently live in at this moment in time, because there would be no other place for people to, in unison, to watch and look at the children of immigrants be honest on social media, and to specifically speak on how it is that they are taught to see and speak about Black Americans. Because any other way, people would just be, if this was like, let's say like the 90s or the early 2000s, and Black Americans were saying a lot of stuff, it would just be hearsay, right? It would just be in some type of a little blurb and let's say Essence or Jet Magazine or Ebony or something like that, right? Or maybe it might show up on a talk show, right? And that's as far as it would actually go. But now we got social media. Everybody has a voice. Everybody has eyes. And I tend to pay attention to the most those who are honest, who are from where it is that they are from, or they are of the bloodline that they're from, and they're speaking on how they are taught to look at Black Americans and treat Black Americans. And I've showcased some of those videos here where those children specifically state that they, for all intents and purposes, were in a sense taught to really dislike or hate Black Americans, and to feel that they are better than Black Americans. You know, Black Americans are below them and all this other type of stuff. Again, this is not me just saying it. You got Nigerian kids directly up here, other African kids, and so on and so on, that have specifically come out and said this. And I'm not trying to hear nobody talk about, oh, well, you're just talking about a fragmented sum that doesn't encompass. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. Like I said, if you don't like me saying this, or quote unquote generalizing, then you need to get directly on the necks of your people who are teaching this type of nonsense when it deals with them coming to the United States, fleeing and running from their country, coming to the United States and deciding that they want to look down upon, you know, Black Americans, that they want to hold their noses up, that they want to, you know, treat us a certain type of way, try to tell us, oh, you don't have no culture, this, that, and the third, and you're not nothing, you know, you're the you know, you came from slaves, and right, all of that type of speech that, you know, y'all like doing. Like I said, talk to your people about that. Don't talk to us. Don't talk to us. Talk to your people about that. Right? If you don't, you know, want us, you know, saying stuff. And again, for a lot of y'all folks directly out there that be running and fleeing, yo, stop coming into Black American business. This woman is clear-cut Haitian. What are you doing even in this conversation? What are you even doing? Like, realistically, you should be getting deported. I'm just gonna be real. You should just be sitting up here getting deported. There's no reason for you to even be speaking directly on this at all. And you're trying to give some type of analogy that fell directly flat. I don't care what it is that you got to say, oh, you're a part of like this tree and what. I don't care about none of that. Again, whatever part of a tree that we were from, guess what? We are no longer still a part of that tree. That part of the tree decided that, yo, we didn't need their type of shelter. We didn't need the energy. We didn't need the nourishment. We didn't need the warmth. That part, that tree that you're talking about, they gave us away. They didn't care about us, right? Historically, going by what it is that everybody say, right? The slave trade, transatlantic, who sold who, and all this other. Yeah. We don't care nothing about that. We don't care nothing about that. Like, it's crazy how people want to come online and try to tell Black Americans, like, oh, just because, you know, your people treated you this way doesn't mean that they're not family. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. We don't have to sit up there like it's crazy how you're trying to tell the ones that were mistreated that we need to sit up there and forgive and we need to band together. Nah, we don't need to sit up there and do that. We've been going for like 400 years. You mean that for 400 years, like, ain't nothing really been popping over there in Africa at this moment in time? Like, word? Really? Huh? That don't make no sense. And magically, we're the key to all of this? Nah, if we were the key, then why did you get a key away? Huh? What, you wanted to hide the key from yourself because no one man should have all that power? Like, what's the excuse? And please don't cop out and plead ignorance. That's not, no, we're not doing that. With the amount of intelligence, with the amount of history, with the amount of culture, with the amount of writings and everything directly, nah, you can't plead ignorance. You can't do it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. So you're going to have to, you know, put something else directly up there. And I'm tired of people sitting up here saying, well, the ones who sat up there and sold those and the this and that and all this other type of stuff, they were dealt. Man, I ain't trying to hear none of that. I ain't trying to hear none of that. Because like I said, I've been telling Black Americans for a minute. I sat up there and told y'all some years back, I'm like, the moment in time where you got Black Americans starting to wake up and realize who it is that they are and all this other type of stuff, you're going to really start to see how the world looks at you. And look at how you have the world coming down upon you. The moment in time that you're stating 10 toes down, like, yo, I am this, I am that, and all this other type of stuff, everybody is trying to tell you, no, you're not. You're thinking too highly of yourself. That's ego. That's pride. You need to humble yourself. All this, like, where did all of this come from? Because it's weird how when Black people were just like, you know what, we're the children of slaves. This is our history. This is where it came from, and all this. Everybody was shutting up. Everybody was like, yeah, children of slaves. Yeah, all y'all slaves. That's it. That's your history. Da, da, da. But the moment of time we start getting more information, we start looking around, we start gathering stuff, and we're like, yo, we're actually beyond this. We're way more than this. It's like, yo, a lot of y'all been sitting up here lying. Now everybody's looking around and they're making something brand new. Now everybody done flipped the page on something completely different. Now it's turned from being the children of slaves, and that's where the history comes from, to now being proud of, in a sense, both that history and heritage on top of the other things that were hidden directly from us. And then from that, people are like, oh no, Black Americans, you guys are xenophobic. You guys are hateful towards Africans and Haitians and Jamaicans and Caribbeans. You guys are the most, hateful and racist people, out of the whole diaspora, and this needs to stop, and you need to do this and do that, and we're all one. What are we doing? What are we doing? Y'all can't even make up y'all minds anymore. But like I said, a lie can only be as great as the person who tells it. And obviously those people who've been telling and selling this lie aren't really that great, because everything is starting to catch up. Everything is starting to add up. The math is now mathing. So a lot of people are going to have to, soon eat crow and realize what it is. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.